All right, I think we're live. I hope we're live. Okay, now we're live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining in today. Actually, nobody's here yet, so I was prepared for this. My name is Chris Davis, if you don't know me. I'm a trumpet player in the Chicago area, and I just have a love for music, and I have a love for people, helping people, talking to people, and I believe that we should all help each other grow and become better by sharing our experiences, telling stories, talking. And so that's why I started this Google Hangout today, which is going to be saved on YouTube later. So, real quick, a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, I'm a musician. I just said that for the last 35 years, I've been playing music. And I have a podcast called Behind the Notes. It's advice for a successful music career. And I interview musicians who are successful, whatever that means. That word successful is different for every person. But I interview quote unquote successful musicians on how they have become what they have become. Because I believe, again, that everybody has a story that we can learn from. So it's a great show. Check it out. It's on iTunes for you whenever you need it. I'm also, I should have said this first. I am a husband and a father. Been married almost 7 years. Have two young boys, 3 and 4 years old, growing up too fast, actually. So, and I'm a musician too, so that's really cool. What else I want to tell you about myself? Oh, I have a new album called Eventide. I'm excited about that. Very excited. Please support the project. It is available on iTunes, also under my band name, Chris Davis Jazz Chat, and of course on CD Baby. So that's enough about me because this isn't about me. I just wanted to introduce myself to you a little bit. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you may already notice that I have some instructional videos uh, about trumpet, primarily about trumpet. So if you're watching live, I see I got 3 viewers. I'm thankful for the three of you. Go ahead and ask questions. I want this to be a back and forth. I don't want to have a monologue. Uh, but I don't know how I can make sure that you guys can talk to me. Chat. Here we go. Chat. Can you guys chat with me? All right. I don't know how to use Google Plus. Bad. That's bad. All right. I'm not gonna try to figure this out right now. All right. I'll do my homework. I'll do my homework, and maybe next time we can do a little bit better. That's really bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. So man, I'm just gonna tell my a little story then by myself, I guess. I just recently played with Jennifer Hudson on Saturday, and that was a very cool experience. And I'm still doing some reflecting on that. And so I thought I'd just take some lessons away from that and talk about that. So here's the first thing. How did I end up with the opportunity to play with Jennifer Hudson? And these are the lessons that we're going to apply in our life and in our music career. Some of these are abstract. It might not be enough for some people. Some people might want some more to hold on to. Some people might want to say, hey, tell me to do A, B, C, and D in order, and then I'll go do it. Now, there's some of that involved, but there's also some abstract things that you just gotta believe in and apply. So, the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the importance of dreaming, having a dream, and believing in it, and not giving up on it. Uh, it's just really important to not listen to the people who say that you cannot do fill in the blank. And as musicians, I'm sure that we've all heard, "What's your backup plan?" I cringe when I hear that. What's your backup plan? My my plan is to be a musician. I'm going to perform or teach or whatever it is for you. But you know within yourself that that you're going to be a musician and you'll make it work. You'll figure it out, even if you don't know. I had a woman when I was a young boy, maybe 10 years old, say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a musician." And she said, "Well, what's your backup plan?" That's the first time I heard it. And I don't have a backup plan. I told her, well, you need a backup plan. Well, ironically, I saw the same woman uh, last year or what 12 months ago or less, and now I'm doing I'm doing all right for myself. And she approaches me and says, "Well, you still could be doing better." And I'm like, "Ah, leave me alone." Well, who couldn't be doing better, you know? Um, but anyway, there's just some people who aren't going to agree with you, and don't go along with those people. Don't invite them in your life. But it's important to have a dream. Um, I performed with Jennifer Hudson at the Star Plaza Theater and in Indiana, Merrillville, Indiana. And the reason why I'm tying that into having a dream is because when I was younger, I don't remember how old I was, a teenager, my church rented out the Star Plaza Theater for Easter because, as you know, everybody goes to church on Easter, even if they don't go for the rest of the calendar year. So we needed the extra space. And I was really amazed at the size of the room. And I said, I want to perform here someday. And that day came this past weekend. And I had forgot about that until it happened. Um, but that's just one example of having a dream and just believing in it. And there's many examples like that in my life where I would say something out loud or imagine something and then it happened. Um, Another example of having a dream, and then I'll move on because I can kind of talk too long. Um, Once I went to Orchestra Hall and I saw Marcus Roberts perform. And if you don't know who that is, he's a great jazz pianist who happens to be blind, one of the great pianists of our time. And I went to go say hello to him after the show, and I went the backstage route, and I kind of got lost actually. And so I followed these stairs up, and I saw Marcus Roberts, but he was talking to a lot of people waiting to talk to him. And I looked over to my right, and I saw the stage. I had meandered backstage and didn't realize it. So I looked, and it was nobody in the audience. Absolutely no one. Everybody had cleared out. So I went on the stage, and it looked like a scene out of a movie because I walked on the stage. I was the only one on the stage, and there was like a couple of spotlights on the stage, but the room itself was dark. And I went out there, and I just started to pray. I wanted to perform in that room, and I started to speak that situation into my future. I prayed about it. And then a friend walked in and said, "Hey man, what you doing?" Oh, I'm sorry. He realized I was praying. And I was like, "No, man, it's cool. Come on." So we talked about what we wanted to do. And I gave myself a time limit. And things actually did happen for me ahead of the time limit. So those are just a couple of examples of just having a dream and speaking it into your life. Now, there it's not enough to dream, right? You still have to do some work. So what are some of the things that you need to do to make your dreams come true and come to you? So one of the things I want to talk about is just the importance of meeting other people. You can't and you won't do anything alone. We all need other people. All of the people that we look up to, no matter what field they're in, they have a team that's surrounding them. Who are those people? How do they get to meet those people? So it's really important. So I like to tell stories, and I hope I prove my point with these stories. But again, with the Jennifer Hudson experience that I just had this past weekend, it all started with a a young composer in the Chicago area by the name of Matt Jones. And if you see in this, Matt, thank you very much for the call, my friend. So I saw Matt, I saw Matt Jones on social media, in my Facebook feed once, and then twice, and then three times, and then I kept seeing him. And I noticed that number one, he was a good writer, and I saw some areas where he could improve. But I also saw that this guy was seriously passionate about writing for strings. That was attractive to me. So much so that I said out loud, I want to work with this guy. And soon after I said it, you ever hear somebody say, "Oh, you spoke him up"? Well, that stuff really is true. It's really powerful. Soon after I said it, Matt Jones showed up at one of the rehearsals I was in at with the Chicago Jazz Philharmonic, and that's when we officially met in person. We were already Facebook friends, and so he showed up to one CJP rehearsal, and then another, and then another. And one day, I guess he came to the actual concert, and he was able to hear me perform a solo. And I guess he liked it enough that he called me to work with him and in the studio. And then he called me back. And as musicians, you know that the callback is really important. So yeah, so those experiences led to the Jennifer Hudson experience that I just recently had, and that's because you meet people, you're sincere, you're sincere. There is not an act, right? It's not an act, but you're sincere. You help them the best that you can. You do your best job, and if they like your style, then they'll call you back for more. And if they don't like your style, don't be offended by that. It's just personal preference, assuming that you're practicing and doing the work. So, so the second thing is, first thing is that you want to have a dream. Second thing is that you want to take the time to meet people. Um, there's another guy I met by the name of Marcus Carroll. I was going to my local music store some time ago, 10 years ago, I don't know how long ago. And I kept hearing this great trumpet playing coming out of this room every time I came to the music store. And I asked the owner of the store, who is that guy? Oh, no, that's Marcus Carroll. I said, okay, today I'm going to stay and I'm going to say hello to this guy. I just got to meet him. He sounds great. And so he came out, I introduced myself. We were strangers. And he said, "Hey man, let's go play some notes." I'm like, "Cool." So we went in the parking lot and we played a couple of choruses of the blues and traded information. And a little time passed, and I called him up and I hired him for a gig. And then he called me, and now I work with him every single week. Um, so little things like that over time, you just don't know when it's going to add up, but things do add up. Whether you're going to plant good seed or you're going to plant bad seed, but it's all going to come back to you. So so yeah, dream, meet people, and you want to stay. Number three is you want to stay visible. You want to stay in people's face. So now, Matt, if you're seeing this, correct me if I'm wrong at some point, but I'll keep referring to the Jennifer Hudson experience I just had because it's recent. But I believe that Matt received a call for a horn section because of his visibility on social media. Just plain and simple. I don't even think that the MD ever met Matt in person. I could totally be wrong, but I don't think they ever met in person. But being visible created a level of trust. How deep is that trust? How deep can the trust go? But it created some level of trust uh, and and confidence enough that the MD called Matt and said, "Hey, I need a horn section coming to Chicago. I know you're connected in Chicago, and I know that you're going to bring good talent to us. So it's important to be visible." So what does that mean for you? First of all, social media is one thing. I really believe that you need to be visible on social media, but we are also musicians, so you got to be playing. So I recommend just taking as many gigs as you can, especially in the beginning. Um, if you're a band leader, you want to get a steady, if possible, and it is possible. So whatever your goals are, just sit down, write that stuff down on paper, and then decide how are you going to get there. That's pretty much it. So I don't want to bore you guys. I thought I was going to be able to actually talk to you. So let's do this. I'm gonna give you my email address and write me some questions. So I want to do this again, or give me some comments. Say I like what you're doing today, or whatever. Just talk to me. I just want to hear from you. Um, which email address am I going to give you? Write me at behind the note. No, not that one. I'm sorry. Write me at chrisdavisjazztech.com. chrisdavisjazztech.com. I just got a text message from Chris Green. Chris, just write me a text, man, because I got my phone right here. And I'm sorry, guys, about this. I feel so bad about this. But I do not know how to use Google Plus, and I maybe should not have done this way. Let's see here. As guests join in, nope, sorry about this. Okay, I think I'm done. All right, if you guys can still hear and see me, I'm going to stop right here. I'm having some technical difficulty. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to do this again, and that's all for now, I guess. Am I still live? I am still live. Yeah, that's all for now, guys. That's all for now. Thanks a lot. God bless you. Take care.